Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. I am really trying to reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers, so if you can help me in any way, I'd really appreciate it. In our first story, a choosing beggar is being paid to do housekeeping, but for some reason, she expects her client to help her clean her house first. Here's some backstory. I am a big-hearted person, and so is my husband. If we can help, we usually will. Well, not so much anymore, but that is how it was at that time, especially when it involves a child. This will be a long story. Choosing Beggar lived 2 houses down from me. This is in the country, so that means that it would be about 8 or 9 houses down in the city. Just a little for your information. We were friends, and I would walk over to her house and spend time with her and her daughter because she really didn't have anyone because her brother and her sister-in-law weren't speaking to her. Anyway, she had to move out and didn't really know where she was going to go. So my husband and I talked, and we would be able to help her out with the rent and a couple of bills, electric and water, in exchange for cleaning my house. It was a generous amount that it worked out to. I had even lent her one of my cars because hers broke down, and I got tired of carting her and her daughter everywhere constantly. My hubby and I worked on another car I had, so we weren't out a car. I liked it better anyway, since it was stick shift. Well, I gave her a week after the move before I said anything so that she had some time to settle in. When I asked her about it, she said she needed to get her house straight first, and she needed me to help. What? I paid your rent and some of your utilities, loaned you my car, that you literally let your 9-year-old climb all over the top of and stand on, by the way. I even put gas in the damn car, and you want me to clean your house before you will do what I am paying you for. Well, there was some family stuff that went down, and I was suddenly no longer going to be able to pay for her stuff. This was a really rough bit of family trouble. She asked me, "What about me? How will I pay for everything?" I told her I don't know and I don't care. I have to take care of me and mine. You were part of the issue. Find another sucker. Well, I went to another state for a week to get myself straight and get through this. She didn't want to take my car to my house and leave it there. So, I had my brother repo the car from her. He did that for a living. He brought it to my friend's house where my brother and I were. Well, I couldn't take both cars when I left, so I drove the stick home and would take a bus back down later to get the cruiser. I told my friends they could drive it if they needed it. My friend was vacuuming out the car shortly after I got home. In a PT Cruiser, the switches for the back windows are almost on the floorboard, between the front seats basically. Dumb place to put them. Anyway, he bumped the plate that holds the switches in the console and the plate popped off. What he found made him call me. He said he needed to ask me a question and that I needed to be honest with him. Have I ever not been? Did you start doing drugs? What? Then Russell must be right. It must be Choosing Beggars. What are you talking about? He told me about the switch popping off and what he found inside that part. Crack cocaine. I went nuts. I told him I would call him back soon, and if I didn't, I would need for him to find someone to bail me out. I went over to her house, she was still packing, and asked her why she had drugs in my car. She claimed ignorance, of course. I just told her to forget my number. We are not friends anymore. She had the audacity to be pissed at me. Screw that stuff. Which? I could have been arrested if I got pulled over and they brought a dog out. I would have consented to a search if they had asked because I had nothing to hide, I thought. I told the sheriff and the police chief what happened. They were awesome guys. Well, her car was miraculously fixed, and she had been driving later, and the cops pulled her over and searched her car. She asked me if I told anybody about the drugs. I asked her who I would tell without possibly getting into trouble. The police and sheriff and deputies knew me and knew I would not have done that stuff anyway. The sheriff said as much. Well, a very short time later, she was in jail for drugs. Not hers, my butt. After I moved, I got rid of that car a week or two later. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, will ever be allowed to drive my car ever again. In story number 2, a choosing beggar wants a refund because the store ruined her son's Christmas. I'm a first-time poster here, and this happened almost 2 years ago, so go easy on me. I worked retail at a large sporting goods store around the holidays. My store had a large trampoline for sale, of which a customer bought, but quickly found out it was too large to fit in her sedan. No problem. We told her we would put it on hold for her, and she could come back when she found a car to borrow or someone to help her out. This was in early December, and it was common practice for us to put items in the back with a tag saying it is for this customer and that she had already paid. Fast forward to a few weeks later, Christmas Eve, around 5:30. The store closes at 6. Same customer calls and asks if she can come get her trampoline, but she will be late. Fine. We will be there anyways, closing down. I go to the back stock area only to find someone has sold her trampoline. No big deal. Another store is 15 minutes away with one in stock. I hop in my personal truck, drive to the other store, pick up the trampoline, and head back to the store. I arrive at roughly the same time as the customer. We tell her we can just move it straight from the bed of my truck into her car. Sounds good. Wrong. We go outside to find she is in the same car she came to the store in weeks ago and has her son in the car, presumably the one who was receiving the trampoline for Christmas. Again, we tell her that this trampoline will not fit in her car. At this point, she is irate that the trampoline was not wrapped for her, not a service we have ever offered or advertised, that it won't fit, and that we have now ruined Christmas for her son because he knows he's getting a trampoline now and he won't have it tomorrow morning. At this time, my store director graciously offers to put the trampoline in his car and drive it to this woman's house that is fairly close by. We don't offer delivery, by the way. She agrees. The rest of this story is now secondhand due to me no longer being there and was told to me by the director at my next shift. So the director drives to her house with this trampoline. He is driving around the city on Christmas Eve instead of being with his family. He arrives and this woman goes inside her house and shuts the door. She doesn't offer any instruction or help to my director. He proceeds to stand at the front door and knock for an extended period of time before she opens the door. When she finally arrives, she acts as if she is bothered that he is there. He tells her that he is just going to put the trampoline outside the garage. This infuriates her because it's not under the tree. He again wants to help her, and so he drags this trampoline up her front porch stairs and to the door by himself. When he gets to the door, he discovers that it is closed and locked again. He knocks again and waits for her to open the door, but she never does. At this point, he decides that enough is enough. He has gone out of his way to help this customer. He then goes on his way to enjoy Christmas Eve with his family. Now fast forward to the day after Christmas, which was the next day that the store was open. Who comes marching in? This lady, and she's furious. The director takes her to his office and she proceeds to scream and throw a fit, demanding a refund because we ruined Christmas for her kid because we were so unaccommodating to her. Apparently, she was mad that he didn't put it under the tree for her. My store director quickly shuts this down. He explains what happened, why he left it where he did, and everything we did to make sure she got this trampoline. She's not having any of this and proceeds to yell louder and louder until she is finally asked to leave the store because of her screaming. She refuses to leave the store. The police department is quickly called, and she is escorted out of the building. As far as I know, she was never seen at the store again. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.